What's up, guys? Welcome back to the next video on learning Java. My name is QDS Daniel. You guys watching my channel Coraiwood. Alright, so in this video we're gonna see while loop, or you can say while statements, or while conditional statements, or while loop statements, whatever you want to call it. But it's normally all the folks they call just a while loop. Alright, so I have to save time, I have already created my template here. You guys can go here on your package, click right, and you guys can create your Java class. I created my file name as class while loop. You can name whatever you want to name here. Alright, so what is while loop? While loop in programming, if when you call say while conditional statements, normally we use it inside the game. Here we have some sort of condition here, and what sort of condition? That condition is a boolean condition. We call it boolean, and what's boolean is true or false. So the while loop goes ahead if it's the condition is true, and it's not gonna go ahead when the condition is false. Say for example, if you have if you set something, for example int x is equal to, for example, 10 or 20, whatever, then you guys make sure your condition is going to be true for this one for the while loop to go ahead. Okay, so we can create a, for example, we can inside the programming, inside the game, you guys need to put a while true to start your game. So if you don't put a while true, your game is never gonna start. So if you, for example, if you're going for a job, and you're going in game, especially gaming, and your boss tells you to start writing your first game. So if you start with the while false, it means your game is not gonna take off. You're never gonna start your game. As I said, that the while loops is widely used in gaming. You guys can see here while loop everywhere inside Java. You can see inside C++, Python, PHP, whatever language you name it, you have a while loop. So the while loop, as I said, is a boolean condition here. And how do we know that if the, say for example, this one's correct, this one's the condition is right? Okay, so we're gonna start coding, and as I said, the while loops, you guys can have like 3 ways. You guys can write your while loop 3 ways. Okay, I'm gonna show you one by one. Alright, so we go ahead and we can put our main function. We put a public, we put a static, and we put a void, and we put a main. And you can put a string, array of strings of args, and here you can start your while loop. You can put your while, and you can put your loop here. Alright, so just let you know that the while loop is very dangerous if you guys don't follow the procedure. So I'm gonna put it here, while crash your computer. I'm not gonna try it now, but if you guys say, for example, don't restrain the while loop, if the condition here is true and you don't put it, for example, the end of the while loop, then it's gonna crash your computer. So that's a word of warning before you guys dealing with the while loop. As I said before, the while loop is widely used in gaming industry. So for example, we can put our variable here. Our variable is going to be x, for example, and we can assign 1, or we can assign 0. Now we're going to put a condition that is true. For example, if x is less than or equal to, for example, to 20, then we can start our while loop. So we can put a system dot out dot print ln, and what we're gonna put into ln, we can put this one, this guy is here. So now we're gonna print this one, and now here you guys need to put your incrementation, which is gonna be x. You guys can put incremented. So now the in Java's compiler is going to see this one's okay. So you have a variable here and you have initialized it with 0, and while this variable is less than or equal to 0, which is true. So this is a true now, and you can print my condition, and here you guys can increment it till it reaches here. When it's reached to 20, then you stops. Okay, so now you guys go ahead. If you don't see while loop here, you just go and run, and you will be able to see your while loop. So now we have put our while loop till 20, and our while loop, you can see here that run till 20. And as I said, the while loop's a bit dangerous. For example, if you put it to true and if you don't put this one, then it's going to go forever. So in that case, you guys need to know this to stop, and you guys quickly put this stop, otherwise it'll go forever and it's going to crash your computer. Many new programmers, they underestimate this one, and they once they press this run, then they don't know what to do. Okay, so as I said, here you have the condition has to be true. How about if you put this one, for example, 20, or for example, if this one we put a 30, for example. So we are putting a false condition. For example, as I said before, the condition was true because our initialization was less than 20, and that was true in a computer. But now that's not the case, because 30 is not less than 20. So we're going to go ahead, and here we're going to see that our program didn't run. Why it didn't run? Because our condition, this condition is false. So if your initialization is greater than this guy's here, it's not going to go ahead. There's no way, because you guys need to put this condition should be true. So now we put it back to 0. As I said, there are 3 ways. Now this is the first way, because we put this one here. So I'm going to put a comment around this guy's here. So that's the first way. Alright, so now we're gonna copy this guy here, or we can put it here. So the second way is while, and now we can still have this guy here. We have our variable, so we put x is less than or equal to, for example, the 20, and we can put this guy here, system out println, and we can put this one. So keep in mind that that's the lower case, and here instead of this guy here, we just put here. So instead of this incrementation here, you guys can put it actually here. In the our second scenario here, the first scenario we put a while, we put the condition is true, so the condition is true here as well. But in this condition, in this statement here, instead of we put it here underneath, which we are incrementing here, and because that one's commented, so we are not going to run this part. We are only going to run this part. So we're going to put a Control S to save, and we're going to run, and you're going to see here our while loop we started, and it goes till 20. So that's the second way, and I'm going to put a comment here to put it here. So now what's the last way? For example, the last one is we put a while, we put our incrementation here, we put a double plus x, and we put a less than or equal to, less than or equal to 20, for example. And here now we are gonna put this guy here. So I'm gonna put it here, and now we're gonna put a x here. So if you look in here, observe here, we have a x, which is the condition is true. We are running this one, we are incrementing here. This one we are putting the condition true, but we are incrementing here. So in the last one, we are incrementing on top. We are incrementing as well as we're putting the condition is true. So you guys can put it x like this, or you guys can put it this way. It's up to you. This is the reason I put it, just to put a space here. So if you even if you put just x, it's gonna work, no problem. You don't have to put a x as your variable. You can put a x, y, z, I, a, b, c. You can put any English alphabet. So when we run, say for example, if I'm gonna put it, for example, 10, you might think that this code might run, but I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. So when I run here, it's gonna run till 10. So there was no difference between any of this while loop. So the while loop's gonna first ones we putting the conditional okay, true, and then we're running, but you're incrementing here. But if you don't put this increment, because you're putting the condition, you're initializing your variable, you're putting your condition, and whatever you guys gonna put it, if you don't put this one, then it's gonna go forever. But because we are putting here, means that when it reaches here, you stop. Then we're putting another one till 20, then we're incrementing here, but we're incrementing at the print ln. So the last ones, but we are not going to increment it underneath our in the print ln print line. We are incrementing just right inside the wall here. We're incrementing here, this guy here. So I'll leave it up to you guys, whichever is easy for you, whichever you guys feel comfortable. So that's how the while loop is, and the while loop runs when the condition is true. Sometime you see in the programming, you guys gonna see as a while true, because programmers, they start their program. So I'm gonna put it here. We're gonna put a while. If you guys know, if you guys done a game, you guys gonna see your while here, while true. You start the game, while if the game is true, the game's gonna run. When this condition becomes a false, then the user exits the game. Say for example, if the user is gone and get stuck somewhere, then this condition becomes false, and you're going to terminate the game. Very useful, very useful. While loop is widely used in a gaming industry, in every other industry, because you guys have say for example, you guys can run it if you do want to exit. Say for example, we are playing a game, and once the condition becomes false, then we exit. Otherwise, if the condition is true, then we're going to start running the game. So this is the while loop. Alright, so in the next video, we're gonna make a very small guessing game with random number generation inside Java, and we're gonna use a while loop in our game. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe Korayawood. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.